Hello everyone. Today, my person Raúl Guzmán and my partner Mariangela Vega, we will answer some questions for you. So let's start.
Okay, the first question is what is tribalism?
Well, actually, tribalism is a term that you can see everywhere or relate very quickly, and it refers to the loyalty that you have for one tribe. So you're part of a tribe, even though you didn't realize that you were part of a tribe. And in that way, we can say that tribalism is that loyalty that you create with this tribe or other social group that share similar preferences, and with that, you make a link with them, and you share the same negative things or feeling for people from outside groups. So let's continue with the second question, that is what is the relationship between the oxytocin human beings and society, and what evidences can you present on this topic?
Well, oxytocin is typically linked to warm fuzzy feelings and is related to human beings and society because oxytocin has the power to regulate emotional responses and social behaviors like good, empathy, gazing, positive memories, positive communication, and also in base of all these topics, we can segregate persons in group of tribes like us and them. And talking about us and them, Raúl, why it's significant to understand the concept of oxytocin of us and them?
Well, those two concepts are very important, and they are related one to the other. As you mentioned, the oxytocin refers or is that hormone that makes us feel trust, warm, positive memories, or maybe can help us to make some links or connection with other people. And for the other side, we have the us versus them. Uh, the us versus them is a tendency of people to separate the social world into groups. In the first group, we have the in groups that refers to us, that are the people that have the same feelings, the same connections, or maybe that have the same way of thinking. From the other side, we have those who are different, in this case, the out groups, referring to them, that they are the people that don't share the same thoughts of us, or maybe they behave in a different way from us. So let's continue with the third question, that is why it is the fourth question, sorry. How can critical thinking help us to emancipate our boundaries with oxytocin?
Okay, critical thinking, and nowadays we can use the critical media literacy, is the process of doubting about statements that in everyday are usually accepted as true, and with some skills like knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation as a guide to control our beliefs and our social behaviors.
So now, can you mention each power relation and kind of power concept that you know?
Okay, now we have the top dog and the underdog. The top dog means the oppressor, and the underdog, the person is the who is oppressed. And in based on this, we have the person who has more power or influence than other. And the oppressor can use the coercive power, reward power, legitimate power, and informational power.
Now, could you give me an example of a situation where uh, where we appreciate the difference between a stereotype and a racist act.
We can see the difference between races and stereotypes, between something accepted for everybody and like the expression that all of the actions are good in maths on science, and the discriminate and the racist about the discriminate somebody in based on of his appearance or in her culture. For example, we have we have a person who discriminates a woman, a Muslim woman, to use her hijab. And now we have the seventh question about what is suggestive power and consumerism.
Well, the suggestive power is the ability or the power to convince other people, maybe that if we want to, that they act or behave or think in a specific way. That is the suggestive power. And the consumerism is the theory that people, or maybe that people who consume or acquire a product or a service in a large quantity can feel on that way of fake happiness, or maybe comfortable with that. But the suggestive power in consumerism refers to the strategies or abilities of the marketing or advertising that makes the consumer behavior are related to the consume or acquire that products, or giving that desire of necessity on them that gives him the benefit to feel comfortable with that. So the suggestive power in consumerism it's divided, or its characteristic for three topics. There are the emotional appeal. In this, the suggestive power refers to how the advertising or marketing makes you feel. How can they attract the people to them? The persuasive language, with that they use words, clue words, or sentences that are related to a specific group or a general group, trying to call their attention. And at least we have the visual cues, that are that pictures, images, or other things that call the attention or works as a hook to the audience. Now let's talk about some comments and what makes us, or what comes from for our minds when we listen them. So as first we have, why are humans being hardwired for critical thinking?
Well, I can say that it's because the society is designed to follow social impulse and accept norms, seeking for the social control. Okay, Raúl, what do you think about meaningless to meaningful?
Well, meaningless and meaningful, it refers about the importance that we gave to the people, or maybe the importance that people have on the society. And for me, it's related with the topic of us versus them, or maybe with the topic of oxytocin. Why? Because with those topics we can thought, or maybe we can relate how people that are closer to us or are part of our tribe are important, or maybe who of the other tribes or that don't share our same preferences are meaningless for us. Now let's talk about everything you do right now is grounded in your assumptions.
Well, I related this to the last statement because our assumptions and the process of vision is both our construct and our savior of some time. Because our brain involved to take what is meaningless and make it meaningful. So your brain involved to take this meaningless data and make meaning from it, and that's the process of creating perception. And then we hold on to those assumptions. And last, we have hardwired to figure out the intentions of people.
Well, with that, we can focus on the perception or the way that we impress the people or the point of view that they have of us. In this case, I can relate it with the stereotypes or maybe with the racism. Why? Because we are talking about how people or what image have the people of us. In this case, I have an example that maybe the people have the power or regulate or influence in our feelings or how can they make us feel. If a friend or maybe if Mariangela comes to me and tell me, hey, today you look great, even though it wasn't true, he can makes me feel better with that. So he has assumed that I look great maybe for my outfit, for my haircut, my glasses or something like that, even though I don't like that. So that's why I relate this comment with the stereotype and racism topic. So that's all for now, and thanks for your attention, and we hope that you have a great day. Thank you.